Check out the award-winning destination that is Maxine's on Shine.
Guys, if you want the greatest night of your life, I mean your best night ever, then you gotta hear this. There's a great ED pill out, and it's from the makers of Viagra. It's their ED pill called Viagra AGV, and it's unbelievable. It works super fast in as little as 12 minutes and lasts up to 12 hours. Plus, it's FDA approved and safe. You need to try it for yourself. It's unreal what it does to you. Viagra AGV crushes every other ED pill, and it's endorsed by the head of urology at the prestigious Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Beverly Hills, Dr. Dudley Danoff. Every man alive needs to try this amazing, remarkable Viagra AGV pill at least once. It's beyond belief. Then you'll know why men are going crazy over it. So if you want to have the most incredible night of your life, you can't. Supplies last. Go to scoreblue.com. Scoreblue.com. That's scoreblue.com. Viagra AGV is available only at scoreblue.com by prescription. No doctor visit.
It's a Yuengling thing. Celebrating a win with the whole team. A traditional lager for the slugger who crushes every pitch. Light lager for the shortstop who's basically a blur on the field. Flight for the catcher, perfect for pacing themselves. And a black and tan for the outfielder who dives for every play. Because every victory deserves a beer made for it. It's a Yuengling thing. We brew a beer for everyone's tastes.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Host an event they'll never forget at Crush Yard. Designed for group gatherings of all kinds, Crush Yard makes it easy to bring people together for team events, birthday parties, and milestone celebrations. With pickleball courts, great food and drinks, and flexible space to play or relax, everything comes together in one place. We handle the details so you can focus on your guests and enjoy the moment. It's an interactive, high-energy experience everyone will remember. Learn more at crushYard.com.
Boxing fans, live championship boxing returns to Caribe Royale, Orlando on Saturday, June 13th, with a quadruple world title card and the best of women's boxing. O'Shea Jones takes on Elia Carranza. Tierra Brown takes on Hannah Rapp. Jasmine Animal Artiga, three-time champ Evelyn Bermudez, and more. Plus, an exciting undercard with some of the world's best undefeated prospects. This is the night women's boxing makes history. Tickets available at Ticketmaster or at CaribeRoyale.com/boxing.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. This is incredible. Get the IDC value price you deserve. Then spread your payments over 5 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $100 a month. That $12,000 engagement ring, just $200 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 0 interest all the way to 2031. Who else can do this? There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. So don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible anymore. International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com and approved credit.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
Hey there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. A couple more days of storms before we get into some drier air late week and some lower rain chances, maybe even some lower humidity in the afternoons. For today, though, muggy. The high 89 degrees will top out with about a 60% chance for rain, mostly from Orlando points north. Tomorrow, up to a 70% chance for rain. But as we head toward Thursday and Friday this week, we may see those rain chances dropping. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner.
Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
UCF Knights have punched their ticket to the NCAA baseball tournament, and FM 96.9 The Game will be there for every heart-pounding moment as the Knights march their way towards Omaha. Catch all the exciting action right here on the exclusive home for UCF Sports, FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeartRadio app.
Happy Monday. Welcome to the Beat of Sports. Happy June. I'm Mark Daniel. Chris Vasquez out again today. Be back tomorrow, but Cam is back in with us. He was here on Thursday, and it's time to be with us again today. Cam, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Good morning to you.
How's your weekend?
Pretty well. Nothing too crazy. Just worked on show stuff, but it was enjoyable. A little rainy.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Thank you for the bagel, by the way. Another great breakfast from Mark Daniels. I appreciate that.
Yeah, a little bit dangerous. Cam thinks now every day that he works, like Mark just brings in unlimited breakfast and everything.
I'm getting a little spoiled.
No, it was, I appreciate you coming in. And I last night, Cam, at 10:05 Eastern time, I was in Auburn, Alabama, broadcasting a UCF baseball game, and their season ended with a loss in the NCAA regional, and realized, wow, I'm going to be on the air in like 10 hours in Orlando. And my broadcast partner, Stephen Branca, was great. He drove the whole way, stopped, left the ballpark, went back to the hotel, got my stuff, and we hit the road. And 6 hours and 5 minutes later, pulled into my driveway at about 5:10 this morning.
Oh.
Or 5:15 this morning. And he drove the whole way, his big vessel, truck, whatever the thing is, that we're just blowing past every 18-wheeler out there. And I don't know if you've ever done, now I know you work overnights a lot.
Yes.
Okay, so you know that world, okay? Different world.
Yeah.
Different world, man.
A lot lizards.
But when you're driving, and again, I'm a passenger, and you know you've got a 6-hour drive, okay? And I feel good, okay, I'm going to get back in time to do the show. It's just a long drive. And you're trying not to look at the GPS that he's got up on the screen, right?
Yeah.
You're talking, everything. It's probably been like 3 hours. Look, it's been like 45 minutes. And you're like, well, how much more? Oh, 330 miles still to go. And you look later, 297. And you're like, wow.
Wow.
But, yeah, made it back in just over 6 hours. And
are you a fan of like riding in cars and road trips and things like that? I know some people are like super adverse to it. So.
No, but I mean, it got me back in time to be here. I'm grateful
Thankfully,
for that.
yeah.
Had UCF won, they would have had to play again. Like we lost, and Auburn and Milwaukee played in a game that began at 11:15 Eastern time and finished up after 2 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
So that could have been a scenario. And then I would have had to figure out what to do, because had they lost, and wouldn't have made it back in time, and had they won, would have had to play a game. Anyway, yeah, we stopped once. And nighttime drives like that, you do have an appreciation, man.
Oh, yes.
You do have an appreciation.
I'm like a 50-50 because, again, you avoid a lot of the maniacs that are driving during the day.
Well, that's why Stephen wasn't, again, my broadcast partner, he wasn't speeding, but we were able to maintain probably 80, 83.
Yeah.
And just mostly 18-wheelers out there.
Yeah. He's got to watch out for them. They'll start drifting that late.
They are, they are.
They're slipping.
They're,
they got to make a Buc-ee's run. You a fan, Buc-ee's?
Okay, so there's a Buc-ee's in Auburn, Alabama. And as I've learned, Buc-ee's are unique. You either like Buc-ee's, it's me, or you don't like Buc-ee's. The Buc-ee's in Daytona is a little bit how do I say this without offending anybody? Let's just say it's a little bit more diverse.
Okay, that's fair. And that's the one I have a lot of experience with.
That's a nice Buc-ee's, though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
They got the car wash over there.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Daytona's wild, though. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, but you can go to some other ones. But
yeah.
But we did. Like I said, we didn't stop until Gainesville, Florida.
Nice.
So just made it from Auburn to Gainesville, and stopped to get gas to make it back the rest of the way. And is there anything more frustrating, whether it's on 75 the Turnpike or even if you're on I-4, and you're driving overnight or early morning or even late night, right? And the cones are blocking off 3 lanes. You're in 1 lane and nothing's happening for like 4 miles in the 3 lanes that are blocked off.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Right? You're like, where's the construction? There's like nothing going on for miles.
And again, overnight it's a little better because there's not. But during the day when they do that, like they'll be hanging out. Oh, pet peeve of mine for sure. I get bad road rage. It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I'll just add this. And we talk a lot of college sports on this show, and college football and the ongoing whatever this world is in college sports. And college baseball does not get anywhere near the same attention that college football, obviously, and even college basketball. But if you've never experienced a NCAA baseball regional, it's completely different than a basketball regional, which is held at a neutral site. And sometimes geographically, like when the Gators played in Tampa this year, clearly they're going to have more fans than anybody else. But a baseball regional and one played at an SEC school, every person should experience at some point in their life. It's different, man. It's just different. And I've been blessed to broadcast at a whole bunch of different places, football, basketball, baseball. And it is just unique, man. Auburn, one, their stadium's phenomenal. Stadium's absolutely gorgeous. Their crowd, though, is jacked up. It is just, it's next level. Now, it did help. We had rain and lightning delays yesterday, and to keep the crowd, which was almost 8,000, like over 7,000.
Yeah.
They kept cutting the price of beer and hot dog, which
I didn't know you could do that.
Which in the South, so our game was delayed 3 hours to start, then had 2 delays during the game.
Yeah.
And beer, I think the beer is like $7 for domestic beers. Then they cut it to $5, then they cut it to $2.50.
Oh, they're asking.
And then I think hot dogs were $4, that went to $2.50, that went to $1.50. And they bought.
Oh,
okay. And that place was wild. It was wild. It was and it was an amazing environment. But it's not just at SEC schools. The unique thing about college baseball regionals is that you're at somebody's place, the place is packed, and it's just, there's a ton of trash talking, player, team to team, fans, players. It's a different vibe than when you go to an NCAA basketball regional, which is unique in itself. But if you go to a place that is known for the way they support baseball, it's a different vibe, man. It's a different vibe. And I'll say this, when you go to towns, and many of you traveled, when you go to college towns where there's no competition from pro teams, none. And in Auburn, Alabama, just like in Tuscaloosa, they don't care who wins the next Spurs NBA Finals. They don't care. They don't. I mean, I didn't take a survey of anybody, but trust me, they don't care. The biggest story in Auburn, Alabama this weekend and in Tuscaloosa was their college baseball team. And they go out to support that team, and they don't care about Wemby versus Jalen Brunson. They might watch, but they simply don't care. They just care about their team. They don't care about pro teams. It's a completely different fan base and passion when your college team has no competition of the pros, none, and it's a totally different environment. And even though it didn't end well for UCF, I will, of all my years of doing regionals and broadcasting on location, Auburn ranks up there. That place was insane in a good way. And I mean, they're yelling at the UCF team, but I mean, you're supposed to do that when you're hosting an event like that. And yet they were incredibly hospitable, very, very nice people to us and all of our needs and things like that. But when it came game time, they were rabid and crazy, and that's what you want. And it happens all over college baseball this past weekend. Unbelievable environments and walk-off wins and drama and all that stuff. And the fact that you have it on campus makes it different than the basketball side of things. Speaking of basketball, when I get to the Magic, the choice of their new coach, a couple thoughts on that I want to get to. Later, Josh Robbins of The Athletic will join us, and Josh will talk about the Magic's decision on who they hired. Also, some thoughts on the NBA Finals, which begins on Wednesday. That is now set. So we'll chat with Josh in the 11 o'clock hour, and look forward to chatting with him. But since I last had a chance to sit behind this microphone, the Magic have made a choice to be announced after the NBA Finals because Sean Sweeney is on the Spurs staff. Why I think it emerged to be the obvious choice. And is it a good hire, bad hire? I don't know how anybody knows, but some thoughts on how it came about. And we'll do that when the Beat of Sports continues next.
Keeping the pulse of the sports world. You're listening to Mark Daniels in the Beat of Sports on FM 96.9 The Game, Orlando's sports leader.
Southeast Steel Appliance Warehouse in downtown Orlando is your destination when it comes to all of your appliance needs. And the summertime is here. Whether it's that outdoor kitchen you thought about setting up, or whether it's time to replace that washer and dryer, you'll find everything you need. For more than 80 years, they've been the place for appliances and great customer service. And check out the Scratch and Dent Annex also to get your incredible deals as well. Online at southeaststeel.net. Shout out to Stu, the great staff down there. And always remember, at Southeast Steel, you get the best deal.
Still looking at some heavy delays on I-4 eastbound due to accident activity blocking the left shoulder near Osceola Polk Line Road. Now looking at accident activity blocking the left shoulder eastbound on I-4 for those approaching US 92 up in Volusia. Another crash reported on I-4 eastbound near Maitland Boulevard. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Bright, spicy, zesty, impossible to ignore. It brings main character energy to every bite. Not just a sauce, it's a star. Only at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations. For a limited time only, while supplies last.
America is turning 250, and iHeartRadio is celebrating with $250,000 in cash. Weekdays through July 4th. Listen for your chance to win $2,500, so you can take the ultimate American getaway.
The Great Orlando Sports Commission brings some of the biggest events in Central Florida and get set for the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships. The largest youth volleyball championship in the world comes to Orange County Convention Center beginning June 13th and running through July the 7th. For more information, log on to GreaterOrlandoSports.com and check out all the upcoming events in a busy summer in Central Florida. It's the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships, one of the largest volleyball tournaments in the world. For more information, go to GreaterOrlandoSports.com. That's GreaterOrlandoSports.com.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed human. That's why 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations. If you manage a business or need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Call 844-844-iHeart. Again, that's 844-844-iHeart.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
GimmeTheVin.com has made it fast. We've made it easy, and we're the only 5-star BBB rated card bar out there.
GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Advent Health is proud to be the official healthcare provider of the Orlando Magic. With premier sports medicine from Advent Health, you'll move faster, jump higher, play harder, and feel better. At the Advent Health Training Center, you'll receive whole athlete care, including primary care, orthopedics, diagnostic imaging, physical therapy, and more. Schedule now at Advent Health Training Center.
Guys, we live in Central Florida. It is so important that your AC works perfectly every single time. My house was a sweat box before I got on the horn with Mills Air. That's why I strongly suggest you call Mills Air. In business since 1992, that's over 30 years of experience, and Mills Air is a Carrier Factory authorized dealer, which means they can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. Call today to schedule your appointment. That's 407-277-1159, 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
With the kids popping in at night and my wife next to me, I need a mattress that keeps movement to a minimum. Mattress Firm sleep experts will match you with a bed for deeper rest, like the Tempur-Pedic Adapt. Its unique Tempur material absorbs motion for undisturbed rest. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm and save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. They make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See mattressfirm.com or store for more details.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. Trained to push past the pain? Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children who are trafficked every day in communities across the United States, sometimes by someone they trusted, sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Blue Campaign hopes to harness the global energy of the World Cup to help raise awareness and break the silence of human trafficking. Get informed. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to learn the facts, end the misconceptions, and start the conversation.
iHeartRadio wants you to see Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson live on their co-headlining tour, and you pick the city. We'll handle everything, and you'll meet Rob Zombie. Just tap the contest tab when listening to us on the free iHeartRadio app to enter. Tickets at livenation.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game.
You can access this show on FM 96.9, AM 740, always on the iHeart app from anywhere in the world on the free iHeart app, iHeart Radio app, and you can catch the live stream. Go to our Twitter 96.9 Game On or visit our YouTube page, 96 The Game Orlando. Click on the logo on the live button. You can watch the stream of the show live or play it back when it's convenient for you. And if you like watching me talk, then yes, you can have fun with that. Cam's sitting in for Chris today. He'll be back tomorrow. We appreciate Cam taking the time to hang out with us. Coming up on 10 o'clock hour, WYJM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach. The Magic are going to hire Sean Sweeney, the assistant coach of the San Antonio Spurs, well-respected throughout the NBA, has been with a number of teams, has been part of organizations where they've developed players, thought very highly of guys like Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Wembanyama, everybody in the current San Antonio team who speaks very highly and was asked about Sweeney and the Magic before they played Game 7 against Oklahoma City. So that's good. You don't want people to go, wow, that's an interesting hire. I have no idea if Sean Sweeney is going to be a good coach, nor do you. He certainly has the stamp of approval of people far more knowledgeable in the game of basketball than I'll ever be and you'll ever be, and seems to be well-respected throughout the NBA. He made a decision to choose the Magic. I'm guessing the other vacancies either had him on a list or he had discussions with. The three other jobs are the Bulls, the Mavericks, and the Trailblazers. Other jobs had been filled along the way in Milwaukee and New Orleans. And if it came down to a choice, whether he had one other option or three other options, he chose Orlando. And I think if you looked at the teams that are looking for a coach in the Bulls, Mavericks, and Trailblazers, and you might be able to make an argument about a healthy Maverick team, but the Magic may be the most ready to contend for a championship, although there may be something very appealing about coaching Cooper Flagg and if that team got healthy. Again, I have no idea if Sean Sweeney is going to be successful. Maybe he's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. Maybe he's not going to be very successful. The Magic will be in the market again, but let's be optimistic and be more glass half full. All the X and O part of it, I don't know how anybody really argues because, again, he's been a long-time assistant, well-respected on the defensive side of things, which may make some say, but wait a minute, isn't there issue on offense? The answer is yes. Jamal Mosley helped make the Magic one of the best defensive teams of the NBA. I don't know what Sean Sweeney's staff will look like. He probably knows exactly what his staff is going to look like. And if it is somewhat like the current makeup of NBA staffs, which is beginning to mirror the NFL in the sense of an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, plus his philosophy, you don't just coach defense without understanding offense. I'm sure he has a vision of what he wants. He was hired, and we've talked about this before, for a different reason than when Jamal Mosley was hired. And I mentioned in the bridge, Steve Clifford didn't want to rebuild. And that's why he wasn't going to be the coach of the Magic. The Magic hired Jamal Mosley because they were making the decision to draft and to build with young players and needed a young coach that can connect to players to help them, even though they're going to lose some games, to get better. And however you feel the end went for Jamal Mosley, in some ways, he did what the Magic hired him to do. Then there was the next stage of, okay, now we think we're ready to compete, now win, and there were issues this year. Okay, he moves on to New Orleans, where they're going to ask him to pretty much duplicate what he did in Orlando. Sean Sweeney is not coming to a basketball team that he's got to rebuild. He's coming to a team that appears to be saying, we still believe if we're healthy, with a tweak here, a tweak there, we can be among the best teams in the East. And by the way, my opinion, I think Sweeney ended up emerging as the most likely candidate because I didn't believe for a second that Jeff Weltman wanted a veteran name. Not to take headlines away from him. I just think they wanted somebody that could relate to younger players, try things differently with a rising star in Paddle that clearly had issues with Jamal Mosley and maybe others. That's why I never... I mean, he apparently did talk to them. I just didn't think that Jeff Van Gundy was going to be a fit here. And I never really thought Billy Donovan was going to be a fit here either. But Sweeney fits the mold. Jeff Weltman, he picked his side. He won. Jeff Weltman got the contract extension. He found the right side of the family to make sure that he was taken care of. He kept control to hire the coach that he wanted. And he hires somebody like Mosley that had the assistant route that clearly looks like, I want to coach. I don't want to be GM. You get veteran coaches that have been around for a long, long time. They want to play GM sometimes. The old Bill Parcells, hey, I want to shop for the groceries. That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. They were going, Jeff Weltman was going to hire somebody that wants to coach. Now, you want to throw the wild card scenario that people put out there about, well, what about Giannis? Okay, well, Giannis speaks highly of Sean Sweeney and connection in Milwaukee and Weltman. Okay, you can play the game. As I've said many times, the Magic and every NBA team and their general manager or president would not be doing their job if they didn't at least engage to find out what is the market and do I want to be involved in that? If you're on the side that the Magic will be involved, what is it? And was that part of the lure of Sean Sweeney? I don't think so. I'm going to guess he asked them questions, as he should, as somebody that appeared to have options. Tell me what your mindset is. What is the organization thinking about the structure of this team? Are you asking me to come coach a team that's the core? That those are the guys of Paolo and Franz and Jalen Suggs and Anthony Black and Wendell Carter Jr. What might change? What are we looking for? And what do you think is realistic? And would he be wrong to go, are you going to inquire about Giannis? And if so, I'd like to know. I mean, Jeff Weltman wouldn't have to tell him and say, well, it's not something we're going to do right now. But, fine. You can find any trade machine out there. Spot Rack, ESPN. And you could have fun and try to come up with deals and say, well, see, this is how it works. Here, I did it for you. You want to have fun with it? Have fun with it. You could get Giannis. It works the numbers for Franz Wagner, Wendell Carter Jr., and Chase Richardson. It works. Clean. Fits the model financially, and you can make that deal. Would the Magic do it? I don't know. What's interesting is any trade machine that you can find online gives you an analysis of the deal and says, well, this trade would make this team better. Sometimes it's by 3.5 wins or increases this team's chance to advance the second round and so forth. You can do any one of the trade machines, and you know what the analysis is? Neither team impacted. That doesn't mean that you wouldn't do the deal if you think it can help you win a championship. Like I said with Kelly in the Bridge, if you want to make a deal for Giannis, you're getting somebody in the beginning of the backside. Okay, the miles have added up. Doesn't mean he's still not an elite player. But I'd be scared about a long-term deal. I'd be scared. I would. The problem, though, is you're dealing with injury concerns yourself. And if you're going to make a deal for Giannis, you got to give up one. Yeah, I mean, you can't send, even though I think they'll stretch the contract of Jonathan Isaac, you can't say, here's my trash, you give me Giannis. No, you got to give them a promising star. And there'll be other teams that are interested in that. But back to Sweeney. Is it a good hire? Sure. Is it guaranteed to work? I don't know. Was he obvious? I think it became obvious. They weren't going to hire somebody that would want say in personnel more. Doesn't fit the model. It doesn't fit the model. Once Jeff Weltman secured his own contract, it was clear he's going to continue deciding about the basketball team. And maybe he makes some good deals. Maybe they find more shooting. But Sean Sweeney is here to make that core better at that next level. Defensively, they've already been good. Doesn't mean they can't get better. They got to get better offensively. We'll see what staff he puts together. We'll see how they tweak the roster. Maybe they do get serious about, all right, we'll inquire about Giannis. So any vacancy and any offseason always is as good as the pool of candidates and the teams that are out there. Was this the greatest pool of candidates? Who cares if he wins? Who cares? If in 4 years the Magic won a championship, they played in 2 finals, who cares what the pool was when they hired him? If you make a choice to change coaches, then you take into consideration what type of coach and who might be available. Otherwise, you don't make a change. The Magic clearly believed that a change was necessary and analyzed what was the realistic market and concluded this is the best guy. And he may have chose them over the other 3 vacancies. So we'll see. He's going to be busy in the NBA Finals for at least the next couple of weeks and then put his staff together. Probably has a very good idea who his staff is right now. And I hope he succeeds. And comes with high praise. I don't think I saw anybody that goes, whoa, that is way out of left field. It wasn't if, it was when he was going to be head coach. And now that time has come. Will he be great? No idea. Don't know. Anybody knows if he's going to be a great coach. But it still comes down to you got to make shots. You got to get shots. He's good at getting shots. He has a reputation of working with star players. Maybe the Magic have hired among many duties is to get what they believe to be their franchise player to another level, and starting with the relationship with the coach that appears to simply got stuck with the last guy. How it's possible that a league where the owner lives in the town of one of its teams is not going to play a playoff game in its own town. That story coming up in about 25 minutes. We come back, though, a different football story that I think the media just salivates over and loved it. And I still don't care what either person involved said. We'll get to that next.
The conversation never stops. Be sure to check out the Beat of Sports live on YouTube and X and catch the show within the show.
Some slow traffic continues in the Orlando area this morning, east and westbound on I-4 by the major attractions exits, as well as through downtown between the 408 and Robinson Street. Accident activity still caused heavy delays eastbound on I-4 near the Osceola Polk Line Road exit. If you happen to come across any major traffic problems this morning, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Only once a year in Las Vegas.
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is back.
Keep your hands in the air.
One stage, 2 nights.
Are you ready?
featuring the biggest names in music. Live, loud, and always full of surprises.
What is this party going on?
Hear it live on iHeartRadio and streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Listen for the reveal of our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Tomorrow morning at 8.
Central Florida Physicians. Are you constantly battling the insurance companies to get your bills paid? Do you provide quality care and services only to wait months for reimbursement? We can help. My name is Richard Hale, partner with the law firm of Hale, Hale & Jacobson. Our attorneys have decades of experience helping medical providers secure payment for valuable care. You deserve professional representation with the experience to secure results. Put us to work for you. Find us online at hhjlegal.com. Offices, Orlando.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we placed the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that feeling when you find your new favorite spot? The one where the pour is perfect and the vibe is even better? Welcome to Bowegen's Beer Company. Whether you're craving the punch of a hop-heavy IPA, the crisp finish of a classic lager, or the bold complexity of a seasonal sour, we've got a tap for that. Crafted with passion, poured with pride. Stop by our tap room today and experience why we're more than just a brewery. Bowegen's Beer Company, with 2 locations, one at the corner of 436 and Redbug, and the other one at the Marketplace in Avalon Park. Bowegen's, recrafting perceptions.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí. Can I just say, you're my favorite player ever.
Soccer's biggest tournament and biggest stars are coming to Florida this summer. And the place to bet it all is on Hard Rock Bet. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Listen to 96.9 The Game in your smart home. Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game on iHeartRadio. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate.
Looking for a workout that doesn't feel like a workout? At Crush Yard, wellness is all about movement, connection, and fun, no matter your skill level. Whether you've never picked up a paddle or you play every week, pickleball gets your body moving and your stress levels down. Add in great food, refreshing drinks, and a social atmosphere, and it's wellness you actually want to show up for. Learn more at CrushYard.com.
Season tickets for the 2026 UCF football season are on sale now. Don't miss any of the excitement of the upcoming home schedule from the Bounce House. Call 407-823-1000 or log on to UCFKnights.com. It's season 2 for Scott Frost, the Knights in the Big 12 this upcoming year. Don't miss the home schedule at the Bounce House. Season tickets for 2026 available right now. Go online to UCFKnights.com or call the ticket office at 407-823-1000. 2026 UCF football season tickets. More details at UCFKnights.com.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Unlock the savings at Boost Mobile and save up to $600 a year. I've been scouting these big carriers for a minute now, and I've seen them pull the same play 1,000 times. They promise you the world, then hit you with a price hike right when the game gets tight. But Boost Mobile, their $25 a month unlimited wireless plan is the most consistent player on the floor. No contracts, no price hikes. Unlock the savings today at boostmobile.com/unlock. Based on average annual single line payment of AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile customers compared to 12 months of the Boost Mobile unlimited wireless plan as of January 2026. For full offer details, visit boostmobile.com.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
It's the French Open, where every point is a battle on clay. I'd know. I competed there for decades. Join me, Renee Stubbs, on the Renee Stubbs Tennis Podcast for no-nonsense breakdowns of the biggest matches, the toughest plays, and the moments that define Roland Garros.
Listen, Elena Rybakina is arguably the best player in the world right now, and I actually can win on any surface.
Search the Renee Stubbs Tennis Podcast on iHeartRadio, America's #1 podcast network and the Webby Podcast Company of the Year.
Presented by Capital One, founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
969thegame.com. Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app.
Bit of sports. Mark Daniels miss Monday. Later, Josh Robbins in the 11 o'clock hour. The Athletic joins us in the Magic's hiring of Sean Sweeney. We made official that for the NBA Finals, and we'll get Josh's thoughts on the NBA Finals, which begins Wednesday with the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs opening up in San Antonio for the first 2 games. We didn't dive into this towards the end of last week, and then I watched another chapter of the story unfold, and I both laughed because it was predictable, and then found it interesting the reaction that hot takers and many talking heads had. And it is part of filling headlines of an off season, and yet it was juicy enough that it stretched far beyond sports. And whenever that happens, then, when you get the crack cable channels and the talking head shows that are nothing more than wash, rinse, and repeat the same exact format every single hour, I mean, you just knew this topic was going to become something on whatever channel you choose to watch, and that's your choice. But the Jackson Dart Abdul Carter story, you could have predicted. And what I mean predicted is the moment Dart appeared at a rally in which President Trump appeared to endorse a candidate running for an office, and then Abdul Carter post a tweet. And if you just stopped it, I could have written the script. I could have predicted what was going to happen. You have a media that was going to race to Dart, demand he give an explanation for what he did. You're going to have another part of the media that will go after Abdul Carter and attack him for going after Dart, who had a right to do what he did. Then you had people demanding that both speak and telling you that the Giant locker room was going to be shattered because of this. And then, easy to predict, the Giants were going to bring their PR people together and craft how they were going to present this with a brand new coach that's all about him and wanting it to be all positive. So that little press gathering was perfectly scripted. They made it pretty clear that, okay, Jackson, this is what we're going to do. We're going to write something. Now, I mean, you read it, make sure you're comfortable with it, and then you read it, and then when you're asked questions, just say, hey, I stand by my statement, and I'm happy to talk football. And then with Abdul Carter, they probably said, look, you're free to speak, but let's make sure, we talk about unity with the team and all sorts of stuff. And if you really want to get a clip, go watch Jameis Winston for 2 minutes, and that's the best clip of all of it, for crying out loud. I mean, that's by far and away the best clip. And I told Cam was going to play something here. You can go find this stuff. I don't need to play you Jackson Dart's. Like, there's a 40-second clip of somebody in the tough New York press trying to put Jackson Dart on the spot. Okay, like, can you understand why? And then Dart gives an answer that, depending on what side of the political world you sit in, you're either A, going to support his answer, or B, lose your mind over it. Like, sorry, you can't just say, read my statement. Sure you can. Listen, you can have an opinion on something that, just because we're so polarizing, and some of you are trained to think, oh, I must have this stance because of this. This is my view, okay? You have a soon-to-be second-year quarterback that is in a city that if you're a star, life is good. Dates the model, is out and about, enjoying his life, his young money, the high profile. As someone that roots for the team that he plays for, the only thing I care about Jackson Dart is don't get hurt, throw touchdown passes, run for touchdowns, and win games. Abdul Carter is an underperforming defensive player thus far in his career that needs to elevate his game to make plays to help his team win. For me, I can't speak for you, but for me, I don't care about the rest of the stuff. For me, it's not that a young 20-something-year-old person cannot draw their own opinions of something, of how life impacts them. I just don't care what Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter think politically. Why would I? Why would I care? Are they going to impact my ability of being happy and go about doing the things that matter to me? The answer is no. It's like I often say, and while many people paint me political in a particular way, if you think the person at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue controls your happiness, that's a you problem. It doesn't matter if it's the current guy, the last guy, or anybody else. That's a you problem. I don't care what Jackson Dart thinks or Abdul Carter. And by the way, if Jackson Dart himself has developed opinions, ideas about political and social things that matter to him that happen to align with the President of the United States, why wouldn't he go speak at a rally? You may not like what the president stands for and therefore think, well, if Jackson Dart believes in that, well, then you don't like it. That's your right. That's fine. The same thing about Abdul Carter, who I could argue, you know what real men do? They don't grab an iPhone and go, hey. They go face to face with somebody. And the Giants men are like, well, they're cool because they sat down. They sat down because the company they work for said, guys, we got to make sure that we kind of nip this in the butt now. It's possible that both Jackson Dart and Abdul Carter have thought long and hard about political and social issues that matter to them, and they can use their platform. But me, I don't seek political position from sports figures. They have every right to express their views. I don't seek it out. And if I learn that somebody sits on the opposite side of me on something political or social, it doesn't make me go, well, now I don't care about them. I hate them. I hope they that's a you thing if you do that. Jackson Dart had every right to go do what he did. If you don't agree with the person he was introducing, that's your right as well. And if you say, well, how can he lead a team? Are you serious? Now, that's not saying that at times locker rooms don't get divided over issues. Heck, you better believe it can get divided. It can be about politics, social issues, race, music, women, money, all sorts of things. But in the end, in sports, it's winning. It's winning. Now, maybe Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart won't spend a lot of time away from the team facility, but it's about winning. And if Dart wins, if he develops his game to another level and becomes a great player, that's what'll matter. Same deal with Carter. If he elevates his game and helps the team win, that's all that matters. But it was such an easy story for if you're on the left, if you're on the right, if you're on one of those insane hourly shows on these channels, it was candy falling off the tree. It was the lowest hanging fruit you could possibly do because it was right there in your wheelhouse. Okay? Oh, my goodness. He must agree with everything that this person says. And, well, they wrote that about his family being in the military. It's actually true. You may not like the politics. That's your right to disagree. But to say, hey, learn the room. If there are consequences in his locker room, that's for him to figure it out.
as a grown man who's still evolving. And the same deal with Abdul Carter. Because, you know, particularly in Carter's case, okay, really in Carter's case, if he doesn't get better, he won't be there after this season, okay? But to get the level of blood boiling was the classic case of the sports story that carries over to the cable news side because it's so easy to do what everybody did. Do what everybody did. But I got a kick when I hear people like, he needs to be challenged. Somebody sit there and say, well, do you agree with this, because the president agrees with that? You can ask him the question, and then he can get upset when he goes, hey, I'm going to stand by the statement. You're saying, well, now he's hiding behind it. You're really seeking him, a 23-year-old, who is still evolving in learning about life and fame and fortune and media attention. And I'll pick on both. And maybe I'm wrong. You think both understand why inflation creeps up? You think both understand about some of the social issues? Like, they're 23 years old. The hell did you know at 23? I didn't know anything at 23. Why do I care what they think politically? Either one. It's fine, again, if they're evolving thoughts and learning and taking the time so that you can speak with some knowledge on it. But, you know, the old political media people and the hot take talkers on cable news shows that said, come on, really? Really? If an athlete chooses to use their platform to talk about those issues, that's their right. If it impacts their brand because half the fans will like, that's their right. That's up to them to decide. Just as it would be okay if someone says, I'm not talking politics. What do you care what I think? I play basketball. I'm paid to sack quarterbacks. That's up to you to decide if what their opinion is matters. I don't care. I don't care. I like watching great athletes and great competition. If they choose to bring politics or social issues into it, that's their choice. It simply does nothing to me. So because Jackson Dart was asked and chose to speak at an event to introduce somebody that he supports, he's a bad person? Even if you disagree with everything of that person, okay, get over yourself. Well, he owes you nothing. He owes you nothing. Okay? He chose to express his feelings that maybe you didn't know about. Okay, now you do. Or you won't watch him play. That's your choice. That's fine. That's your choice. Same deal with Abdul Carter. Hey, you know what? Grow up a little bit more. The next time you want to speak to somebody, put your phone down and have a conversation. That's what real men do. Not fighting, not bickering. Agree to disagree. Maybe learn something about why somebody thinks the way. Understand what their background is. Both. Understand. And you could have done that. But, you know, one sent out a tweet that grown adults don't do. They don't. And part of the story also is that if you're on Twitter 12, 14 hours a day, you think everybody's on Twitter. You think everybody spends the same time you do. That's not, there are no numbers to back that up. No numbers that back that up. Most people are not on Twitter more than 40 minutes a day. So if you're on there and you see this cycle of news that gets aggravated to you, you think, oh my God, what a hot topic. The same thing with cable. Spend a lot of money to study the audience to know hot buttons. And that story was a hot button. It was made to order for both sides. It was just, this was easy. Let's get the round table going and we'll yell back and forth. We'll do a 12-minute segment. We'll take a break. We'll ask the same question over and over. And before you know, an hour's up and everybody gives a high five because that was a great show. Why would I care what a couple of 23-year-olds think politically or socially? Maybe I agree with some. Maybe I agree with none of what they say. So what? I don't go there for my political and social opinions. I want Jackson Dart to be good at football and stay healthy. I want Abdul Carter to actually play 2 good quarters. 2. I can't get those, but that'd be nice. Back with more of the Beat of Sports next.
You're listening to the Beat of Sports on FM 96.9 The Game.
Talk to you about my good friend Scott Stinson. And for more than 20 years, Scott has been helping people like you and I when it comes to things like getting a mortgage. If you're thinking about refinancing, maybe do some renovation work to your home. And right now, Scott's got a great deal. If you give him a chance to sit down and earn your business, he can help you find programs designed for you, help save you money, and you can get up to $2,500 off your closing costs if you refinance or do a mortgage through Scott and his team at Acrisure Mortgage by just mentioning my name, Mark Daniels, the Beta Sports 96 on the game. So please reach out to Scott's team online at WGLoans.com, WGLoans.com, or call the office at 407-377-0305. Scott Stinson team at Acrisure Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, and MLS number 152859. Stinson team and MLS number 319684.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Catch the 96.9 The Game Street Team, powered by Farrah and Farrah, Orlando's personal injury attorneys at events throughout Central Florida, for your chance to win prizes and tickets to upcoming events. For a complete listing of events, go to 969thegame.com/events.
It's a Yingling thing. Knowing you should never show up empty-handed. You bring something that fits the night. Like a case of Flight by Yingling, a premium light beer that's low-calorie, low-carb, and deliciously refreshing. It's a Yingling thing. Keep it light with Flight.
In this edition of the Marketer's Report, Monica Tam, head of brand media for DoorDash, talks about audio's connection to daily rituals.
Audio plays a really important role. There's daily rituals that you do. In all of those moments, you're able to instill a message that lingers in their head when they do have to make that decision.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live conversations, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
A family office is a team built to handle the 3 biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Nice try, Dad.
Ever ask yourself if you still got it?
Here I come.
You got it. You just don't always feel it.
Ouch.
At Advent Health, we'll help you get it back. Get the same level care the pros do.
Gotcha.
Next day.
Watch and learn. Still got it.
For next day appointments with the leader in orthopedics, visit nextdayorthoappointments.com. Advent Health, proud partner of the Orlando Magic and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah. And now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news. Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
The expansion Portland Fire are on a roll, having won 4 of their last 5 games, including a 100-84 victory over the Indiana Fever on Saturday, in which they held star Caitlin Clark to just 6 points. Next up for Alex Sarama's team, a Commissioner's Cup clash with the Golden State Valkyries on Tuesday night. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts. As a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network, Capital One is here to help you learn more about today's top athletes. Plus, Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One, N.A. member FDIC.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports. Presented by Capital One Bank.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action. Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
The UCF Knights play here. Catch every game right here on 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the iHeart Radio app.
The BNN Sports Bar Daniels this Monday. The Orlando Storm finished up the regular season in the UFL with the best record and had the number 1 seed. They will not play a playoff game in Orlando. We'll get to that story in a moment as the UFL completes its season, goes to its postseason. James Larson, been a guest on our show before, covers football, among things the UFL. He's back to give some thoughts on a few different UFL-related topics. So, James, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing great. Appreciate you guys having me back. How are you doing today?
We're good. Let me ask you first, overall view, what was successful this year about the UFL in your view?
Well, I think the UFL going to some different markets where they had these smaller stadiums and venues available, like we saw in Orlando and like we saw in Louisville and Columbus, really led to a really strong product on TV and also on the field. We saw a complete redraft of the rosters heading into this season, which allowed for talent to be more equally spread between organizations. And while, you know, a team like Orlando was really at the top of the league and a team like Columbus was towards the bottom, anyone can beat anybody on any given Sunday. We saw a lot of parity. I think the league did a great job of getting that done this year.
A lot of attention was on attendance. You reported the attendance figures. I'm of the mindset that I don't know what a good crowd is, meaning you may have 10,000 people. That may be a good crowd. That may be what your market is as far as fans as it grows. I know St. Louis stood out, but your thoughts on what the attendance in the regular season was this year? James?
Hey, I lost you there for a second. Could you repeat that question? I'm sorry about that.
No, I said I know that each week you reported attendance figures, and my feeling is, I don't know, maybe 10,000 people is a good crowd. Just because a stadium has X amount of seats doesn't mean that a product that is still developing is going to fill it up. I know St. Louis drew well. What were your thoughts on the attendance?
I think there were some hit or miss. I think a market like Orlando did pretty well considering it was your first year. And also, Orlando's been burned a couple of times in the past from these spring football leagues. You know, the Orlando Apollos were there in 2019 and they left. The Orlando Guardians were there in 2023 and they left. But to your point, I think, you know, people don't realize minor league sports, they usually don't get huge crowds like the NFL or, you know, the NBA or other leagues like that. If you're getting around 9, 10, 11K to what is basically minor league football at the professional level, it's not bad. And I think Louisville is a perfect example of that. Is their stadium seats around 14,500, and they're getting 10,000 plus fans there every week. It looks great. It sounds great. I feel like that's the blueprint for spring football moving forward.
All right, let me get to the story that's available. The best record, feed. They will not play a playoff game here. It's going to go to Columbus. Mike Rapoli, who owns this league, is very active on Twitter, lives in Orlando, apologized, talked about what happened, the venue that they played, which is Orlando City's venue. is in use. We have the World Cup coming here, and preparation continues with teams playing and practicing in some markets like Orlando. Camping World Stadium's under construction. UCF Stadium's under construction. What do you know how this came about? Should somebody have thought ahead? And why is this game being played in Columbus?
Well, I think what we're seeing here is the fruits of the UFL still trying to get some stability under their feet, where in most of these venues, they're the third, maybe the fourth tenant, right? So the teams that have been there already, they have the first say. Like they have they're the priority. Whereas the UFL in a lot of these venues, they're going to have to deal with what they get, right? Whatever is handed down the pipeline to them from these other teams and from the venue themselves is really what they'll have available. And I think as this league continues to grow and as they continue to show that, hey, we are here to stay and hey, we can attract crowds, they'll have more leverage on their end. But right now they don't. And unfortunately, Orlando's at the, getting the short end of the stick here where you can't host a playoff game in Orlando because none of the venues are available. Obviously, Inter & Co. Stadium is not available, and they tried going down a few different roads. Now, Rapoli did tweet out that they're trying for a couple of long shots where there's still a very small, probably 1% chance that it could be played in Orlando this weekend. If that happens, they definitely will do it. But for the time being, they're at least announcing it in Columbus. That way, if all else fails, people know it's going to be happening in Columbus.
Yeah, and I don't doubt that Mike's trying. I could understand the fans that wanted a game here, and there are venues that you kind of wonder, as I explained earlier, some venues may be available, but not broadcast ready. I'm surprised Mike said he did reach out to Disney at Wide World of Sports. That one's a bit of a head scratcher, and yet I don't know if the league says we need X amount of seats. Do you know why he chose Columbus, though?
I don't know the exact reason, but my guess would be, one, it's a venue that's available, that looks good on television, and something that they are familiar with. Historic Crew Stadium doesn't have much going on. And on the flip side, Columbus has proven it's a pretty good football market as well. So even though they're not expecting, a million Aviators fans to come out, there's a lot of people in Ohio that love football. And I think that, that's been proven over this past season, and they think it's a market they can kind of tap into here and do something unique and special for the playoffs.
James, what from a talent standpoint, we reach a time now with teams not in the playoffs that guys are available. What looks to be the movement of guys to get a chance to get into an NFL camp for the UFL this year?
Yeah, so players that are no longer in the playoff race, they can have workouts as soon as today. I know the Houston Gamblers this past weekend, they rested a few of their star players because they knew they had tryouts lined up today and tomorrow with NFL organizations. So we're going to start seeing that news trickle out over the next week or two. We could even see some signings. I mean, like I said, even the teams that weren't in the playoffs, they had some really strong talent, guys that led the league in statistics, guys that, definitely belong at the next level. So we will, without a doubt, be seeing some transactions over the next week or two before the playoffs are even over of at least some workouts and potentially some signings because they're allowed to sign right away.
I know that Mike Rapoli's talked about expansion, looking forward. What is the plan moving ahead? And I would assume it's all systems go on 27 for the UFL?
Yeah, so the league's plan is to expand to 10 teams in 2028. Now, that's a fluid thing because, as we know in spring football, things can change on a dime, and you never want to get too far ahead of yourself. So I would hope that Mike Rapoli and the league are, approaching this in the smart way where maybe – instead of expanding to 10 teams, if there's a couple markets that just are still playing catch up, maybe you move those markets into the expansion cities that you're going into, right? Oklahoma City is a great choice. They're going to be playing at the new stadium there. It seats 10,000 people. So that's the type of crowd we're talking about, right? Like that's what Mike Rapoli wants is, between 10 and 15K at these games. You can sell that out, with the right marketing, with the right branding. And that's the plan for the league moving forward. We're not sure what the 10th market is yet. It could end up being Michigan, depending on whether or not that stadium gets finalized there by 2028, but that remains to be seen.
The finances, it's up to him to ultimately decide what he wants to do. I don't know. Mike was on the station or afternoon show recently, and he was talking about, the future and optimistic about that. Feedback that you get from players and coaches, though. One of the issues that the XFL and the previous UFL is that people began to talk publicly about the financial side of things. I don't think I've seen as much unless I'm missing something here. Either A, they've committed to keeping that quiet, or there does not appear to be any issues about getting bills paid and players paid this year.
Yeah, there's been no issues on that end, which obviously helps with a guy like Mike Rapoli at the helm, who obviously has a lot of money that he's putting into this league. But no, it's been on that side. Obviously, players would love to see their salaries increase, and they have a union that has been working through some things with the league over the last year or two. But across the board, thankfully, this is not like past iterations, like you mentioned, where like the AAF or things like that, where there's been issues where players and coaches are not getting paychecks. So, no, on that side of things, all is well.
Who should win the 2 semifinal games?
Great question. I talked about the parity earlier. This is one of those leagues where whoever's on that week is a team that wins. And we've seen, St. Louis beat Orlando earlier this year, but now they've lost a couple in a row. Louisville started the season 0-3, and now they've won 6 of their last 7 games. They're 6-4 heading into the postseason with a ton of momentum. So, we're looking at whoever comes out on top in these semifinals. It's anybody's game. I think DC's at a bit of a disadvantage because their star quarterback, Jordan Tiamu, went down with an ACL injury in week 8, and he's the heart and soul of that DC team. They've not been able to figure out a quarterback the last couple of weeks, so now they have to play Orlando a third straight week. I think that gives Orlando the edge simply because across the board, they're just a better team right now when it comes to quarterback play.
That is insane from a scheduling standpoint. The playoff one you didn't know about, but 3 straight weeks of the same team. That's brutal.
Never been done before, probably at any level of football. So this is going to be very unique. And it'll also be interesting, because DC and Orlando, it's not like they really rested any guys over this past week because they were still playing to win, even though this game didn't mean a ton in the grand scheme of things since playoffs were clinched for both organizations, and so is seeding. But, you look at it, these are two staffs that know each other very well. Anthony Becht was in St. Louis the last couple of seasons, and he went up against Shannon Harris's defenders a plethora of times. And it actually might be a little bit personal for, the staff this year because last year, it was Shannon Harris and the DC Defenders who knocked off the St. Louis Battlehawks in the first round of the playoffs. Now the Orlando Storm with Anthony Becht and this staff, they have a chance to do the same, get their revenge on DC. So that'll be a fun storyline to watch.
James on X or Twitter at James Larson PFN to find his work there. Thank you, James. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
Like I said, if you're in the group that enjoys going to Storm games and you watch a Storm, there's nothing wrong with that. And I've said this for years about all these leagues. Ultimately, those that sign the checks have to determine how much money they want to lose. Mike Rapoli is a really smart guy. Probably has a financial model that he believes works. I don't know how long that will go, but he seems committed to it for the next several years. So it's his money. The quality of football is fine. It's got nothing to do with lack of quality. It's just you don't see NFL logos, and therefore a lot of people don't have the same interest. The TV numbers are fine. The folks at Fox and ESPN, when they air games, it's outdrawing whatever else they would put on if you're doing a 30 for 30 or something else. So the TV numbers are fine. It is unfortunate for the fans that have enjoyed attending Storm games that you get a playoff game that will not be held in your town when you're the 1 seed. It's going to be in Columbus. I spoke to one person that I think has a pretty good idea about facilities in this town, and talked about looking ahead, and there were deals in place that kind of gave you a heads up about facilities being available and not being available. I don't know if anything will happen in the coming days that might change the game in Columbus to be played either somewhere in Orlando or in a spot. But, I saw some people responding to Mike Rapoli's tweet about still working at it. And, yeah, you can recommend Dr. Phillips High School, but there's a broadcast requirement that doesn't mean you just set up and do it there. You've got to have this facility to do a broadcast because they're putting it on a, major station, major network. So, suggesting, and we got great high school fields in Central Florida, but that's the problem. You just have a basic press box for high school football. That doesn't mean you can run a game out of there. There's a lot more to it. That's the biggest challenge. And I don't know if we'll be able to find a place in time before the game this coming weekend. Josh Robbins is going to talk basketball. The Magic have made it official. They did send out a release that Sean Sweeney is their head coach. It's got a quote from Jeff Weltman. Nothing from Sean Sweeney, but the Magic have made it official. That means the NBA gave them the permission to release that press or to send out the press release announcing that Sweeney is the Magic head coach. We'll get to Josh coming up about 11:15. We'll kick the hour off with the news next.
Want to sound off?
Got a lot of keyboard warriors out here.
Hit us up on the Mills Air text line, 50857.
Some slow traffic continues in the Orlando area this morning, east and westbound on I-4 by the major attractions exits, as well as through downtown between the 408 and Robinson Street. Activity still caused heavy delays eastbound on I-4 near the Osceola Polk Line Road exit. If you happen to come across any major traffic problems this morning, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIve.
If you know, you know. This Memorial Day, Southeast Steel Appliance Warehouse gives you 2 smart ways to save. Start with the best-kept secret, the new Scratch and Dent Annex. Discover premium, fully functional appliances with slight cosmetic imperfections at a fraction of the original price. It's the perfect moment to upgrade your home with brands you love while staying well within the budget. Inventory moves fast, so the smartest shoppers get there first. Or step into the store for the annual Memorial Day sales event where the major brands take center stage with savings up to 40% off plus exclusive rebates available in store. Whether you're hunting for the deepest deal or shopping the latest models at event pricing, there's never been a better time to upgrade your home. Stop on by Southeast Steel Appliance Warehouse because at Southeast Steel, you get the best deal.
Get ready for the red carpet celebration of the year when Disney on Ice presents Spotlight Magic, featuring your favorite characters from Zootopia 2, Monsters, Inc., Tangled, and more. Coming to Kia Center September 4th through the 6th. Tickets on sale now. For show details, visit DisneyOnIce.com.
Hi, this is Mark Spain, and we're hiring listing agents. Are you ready for a career move that will be rewarding and earn you the high income you deserve? If you enjoy delivering great customer service and working with people, I want to talk to you. Go to joinmarkspain.com and apply today.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet. A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta. That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show. And I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years. And it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver. And our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we place the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
At Crush Yard, pickleball is just the beginning. You'll find a full restaurant and bar, arcade games, and plenty of space to hang out with friends. What starts as a few games often turns into food, drinks, and losing track of time. Play a match, grab a bite, catch up, or stay a while. Whether you're competitive, casual, or just along for the fun, there's something here for everyone. Learn more at crushyard.com.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine, accident attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from.
But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work, and they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This station is participating in a nationwide text to win sweepstakes for each weekday up to 3 lucky winners who win a trip or two to the 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival on September 18th and 19th in Las Vegas, Nevada, and a $1,000 gift card. For more information about the sweepstakes, go to the station's website and click the contests tab.
For more information about contests on this station, go to 969thegame.com/rules. The UCF Knights have punched their ticket to the NCAA baseball tournament, and FM 96.9 The Game will be there for every heart-pounding moment as the Knights march their way towards Omaha. Catch all the exciting action right here on the exclusive home for UCF Sports. FM 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and streaming on the absolutely free iHeartRadio app.
Cam is sitting in for Chris Vasquez. CB's going to be back tomorrow. We appreciate Cam hanging out with us. Things going well, Cam?
Oh, yeah, I'm loving it.
You got any big summer plans? You go away at all? I mean, I know you work here 9 days a week. So.
Honestly, I don't really have any summer plans just because I'm really trying to grind it out this year is my plan. If I'm going to take a big vacation, it's probably going to be next year. I think I'm going to plan maybe Japan, maybe something fun like that. Yeah, that's my big goal. If I'm going to go, I'm going to go
Scott
big.
Harris went to Japan.
Really? I'm going to have to talk to him, see how he enjoyed it.
Did the Godzilla zip line.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It must be pretty
The
nuclear.
Godzilla theme hotel.
Oh, wow. So he's a big Godzilla fan.
Well, I would think when you commit to do the Godzilla zip line and you
Yeah.
go stay at the Godzilla theme hotel, you pretty much have gone that route there.
That is the one cool thing about Japan is everything is so themed over there. It's like you can kind of like, if you're a certain fan of whatever, you just kind of dive in. I can't wait. I hope I get to go. I'm really excited.
All right. Sounds good. It is June today, so a lot of people kind of move that towards the summertime, everything. All right, 11 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach. Let's get to the news.
Let's really do the news. Yes. Now it is time to do the news. But now it's time for the news.
NBA Finals get going on Wednesday. It's the Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs, two teams by 1999. There's no one in this series that obviously played back then. Spurs won that first two games in San Antonio. Spurs are a favorite in this series. It was interesting yesterday as the exit meetings took place for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was asked a whole bunch of questions, including about Chet Holmgren's performance in Game 7 or lack of, off-season moves, and kind of avoided saying anything that might be taken in a different way. Meanwhile, the Magic have made it official, releasing a statement that Sean Swinney is going to be their next head coach, with a press conference coming after the NBA Finals is done. Jeff Weltman in the release said, quote, "We're excited to welcome Sean to the Orlando Magic family. Brings a tremendous work ethic and a high degree of intensity that set the tone for everything he does. Sean's attention to detail and his ability to communicate and teach the game clearly stands out. He's grounded in competitiveness and accountability, while also embracing a modern creative approach to coaching. No one talks like that." A well-written quote attributed to Jeff Weltman. Jokes aside, he'll be introduced again after the NBA Finals. He's the 16th coach in franchise history. College baseball games today involving state teams. The Gators had a chance to win their regional, but lost to Troy yesterday. So Florida plays a game against Troy. Winner claims the regional today. That's at 6 o'clock in Tallahassee. In an hour, Florida State will play St. John's. Seminoles have to beat St. John's twice today to win their regional. UCF season ended last night with a 9-3 loss to Auburn. Late into the evening, we played in a game that was delayed by rain, lightning, and a little bit more rain. Auburn had 6 solo home runs the game, and UCF ends their season in Auburn with that regional. Auburn then went ahead and beat Milwaukee. They started a game last night in Auburn. Our game ended about 9:10 Central, and Milwaukee, the team that had beat Auburn, beat UCF, played Auburn last night at 10:10 Central Time. That game ended, I think, like 1:15 Central Time, 2:15 Eastern. Auburn did beat Milwaukee. They come back this afternoon in a winner-take-all game. They're the top team in the country, number one overall seed. UCLA was beaten by St. Mary's yesterday afternoon, who then lost to Cal Poly, who won the regional. It's been kind of a wild weekend of college baseball with the 4 number one seeds getting beaten in regional play. Serena Williams is making a comeback at the age of 44 years old. Williams will play in an upcoming event, the Queen's Club doubles event, the HSBC Championship in London. Some wonder what else lies ahead for her return. 44, she said she just wanted to get back and play the game that she loves. Of course, there's a whole bunch of sponsors connected to her return. It was odd in the sense that Arsenal won the Premier League, played this past weekend in the Champions League finale against PSG, lost in penalties, and then celebrated their Premier League championship with a big parade the next day. Now, there was a large crowd yesterday, but just the awkward moment of losing in the Champions League, then having your parade to celebrate winning the Premier League. Let's see, what else do we have for you? Stanley Cup Final getting set there as the Las Vegas Golden Knights and Carolina Hurricanes will play for the Stanley Cup. We mentioned about the NBA, and that begins on Wednesday. The story that we just had on before the UFL playoffs are set, Orlando finished with the top record at 8-2, number one seed, but because of a lack of available stadium, will not play in Orlando at the moment. Is set to play a playoff game in Columbus and play, by the way, the DC Defenders for the third consecutive week, which is interesting. Yesterday, U.S. men's national soccer team beat Senegal 3-2. Christian Pulisic scored, snapping a 5-month rout of scoring for the Americans. It's a good win. Again, these are friendlies, but Senegal, a decent opponent for the U.S. as they and everyone else get set for the World Cup coming up. By the way, in the French Open, not a single French Open champion made it to the second week. Anyone on the women's and men's tour that has won a French Open out and not playing in the second week of the tournament. Women's College World Series continues today, and again, more NCAA baseball in regional final round action. That's what's happening in the world of sports. Josh Robbins covers the NBA for The Athletic, and he'll join us. We'll talk to Josh about the Knicks and the Spurs, a preview of the NBA Finals, and his thoughts, the Magic hiring of Sean Sweeney as their head coach, team making it official in a press release today, press conference after the NBA Finals. And again, Sweeney, of course, is an assistant with the San Antonio Spurs, but the Magic do make it official. We'll talk to Josh about that and more next.
Mark Daniels is beat from Talking Sports. Hello? This thing on? More beat of sports after this.
Now's your chance to win $2,500. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, birthday. That's birthday. Enter it now.
Maxine's on Shine at 337 North Shine Avenue, inviting you to join them for a wonderful dining experience. Always use the beginning of the week to remind you about making that reservation at Maxine's on Shine because it will fill up as you get towards the weekend. It's a great time. Summer's here. And visit Maxine's on Shine. Indoor, outdoor dining options available. And they'll keep it cool outside and nothing to be concerned about there, but book now and plan. Dinner Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, brunch on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, throwback Thursdays, 2 entrees and 1 house bottle of wine for just $50. That's a great deal. So plan for maybe a little Thursday dining out. Never been there for brunch? Try it. You'll love it and get you back there. Father's Day is coming up. Not a bad idea to plan now to celebrate at Maxine's on Shine. Go to Maxine'sOnShine.com. Check out the menu. Lock in that reservation. Everything you need is right there. Santa Kurt, Maxine, the whole staff. Tell them we sent you by and enjoy the award-winning destination that is Maxine's on Shine.
Some slow traffic continues in the Orlando area this morning, east and westbound on I-4 by the major attractions exits, as well as through downtown between the 408 and Robinson Street. Accident activity still caused heavy delays eastbound on I-4 near the Osceola Polk Line Road exit. If you happen to come across any major traffic problems this morning, just make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Hey guys, Chef Justin with Fresh from Florida here, reminding you that the best part of summer is already here. Locally grown, fresh from Florida watermelon. Fresh from Florida, there's sunshine in every bite.
Only once a year in Las Vegas
Our legendary iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is back.
Put your hands in the air.
One stage, 2 nights.
Are you ready? Featuring the biggest names in music. Live, loud, and always full of surprises.
We're getting this party going on.
Hear it live on iHeartRadio and streaming live on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Listen for the reveal of our 2026 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Tomorrow morning at 8.
The Great Orlando Sports Commission brings some of the biggest events in Central Florida and get set for the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships. The largest youth volleyball championship in the world comes to Orange County Convention Center beginning June 13th and running through July the 7th. For more information, log on to GreaterOrlandoSports.com and check out all the upcoming events in a busy summer in Central Florida. It's the AAU Junior National Volleyball Championships, one of the largest volleyball tournaments in the world. For more information, go to GreaterOrlandoSports.com. That's GreaterOrlandoSports.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Host an event they'll never forget at Crush Yard. Designed for group gatherings of all kinds, Crush Yard makes it easy to bring people together for team events, birthday parties, and milestone celebrations. With pickleball courts, great food and drinks, and flexible space to play or relax, everything comes together in one place. We handle the details so you can focus on your guests and enjoy the moment. It's an interactive, high-energy experience everyone will remember. Learn more at CrushYard.com.
Want to win tickets to see the 2026 FIFA World Cup courtesy of Michelob Ultra in Miami? Just log on to 969thegame.com and search on events to find out how. That's 969thegame.com. Don't miss your chance to be part of the biggest soccer event of the world. Enter today.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí.
Can I just say, you're my favorite player ever.
Soccer's biggest tournament and biggest stars are coming to Florida this summer. And the place to bet it all is on Hard Rock Bet. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
We are Orlando's sports leader, broadcasting live from the FM 96.9 The Game studio. Brought to you by the Nickley Group, Orlando's home team. Doing real estate differently. TheNickleyGroup.com.
It's spring out here and time to get to work. Digging in, fixing up, getting things growing. At Tractor Supply, we've got what you need. From mowers, spreaders, and tillers to tools for every project. Soil, mulch, seeds, and plants for the garden. Dig into spring at Tractor Supply for life out here.
I need a little ranch.
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months.
including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 80% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Yacht Rock Radio on iHeartRadio drops anchor and goes commercial-free every weekend. Weekends were made for smooth sailing. Yacht Rock Radio's got the soundtrack. Just sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy. The smoothest soft rock from the 70s and 80s. Open the free iHeart app, search Yacht Rock, and set sail.
iHeartRadio.
969thegame.com. Felt like you missed something this morning?
It's becoming a disgusting habit at this point.
You did. You can listen while you get ready in the morning.
Wake up with us.
Just tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game.
You can access this show on FM 96.9, 740 the end, Val, the iHeart app, anywhere in the world. And you can watch the video stream of the show. Go to our YouTube page, 96 The Game Orlando. Click on the logo on the live button. Watch the show live or listen to it back when it's convenient for you, as well as in podcast form. Josh Robbins covers the NBA for The Athletic. He, of course, covers the Magic as well. And the Washington Wizards, which have the number 1 pick of the draft. And catch him on extra Twitter, Joshua B. Robbins. Always good to chat basketball this time of year. Welcome back. Good morning. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Let me start with the Magic. Sean Sweeney is going to be their coach. They made it official with a release today, press conference to come after the NBA Finals. As the Magic made the decision to move on from Jamal Mosley, his name popped up among potential candidates, and as the Magic went through the process, they feel like he's the best man for the job. Your thoughts on the Magic's decision to hire Sean Sweeney?
He's going to bring us a strong X's and O's defensive skill at the minimum. His specialty is defense, and no one doubts that he's a very good X's and O's defensive coach. What I would say about any incoming head coach who has only been an assistant coach, or in Sean's case, associate head coach, is that there's a lot more to it than X's and O's. You know, you've got to be able to hold a room, and you've got to be able to communicate. You've got to be able to instill belief. And that's not to say he can't do it. There's no reason to think that he can't do it. It's just that it's something that's very difficult to be able to anticipate ahead of time until someone actually does that job, if that makes sense.
Is it unfair when they say, hey, you just fired a defensive guy to hire a defensive guy? And that may be shortchanging Sweeney. It's not as if these guys don't understand offense, but, you know, your thoughts to that reaction?
No, I think that's a fair concern. It will depend on just how strong is his acumen on the offensive side, And he has not had the opportunity really to prove that. And it also depends on who he brings in to be his offensive coordinator, if that's what the position will be called. I mean, the position will be assistant coach, or who knows, maybe even associate head coach. But who is it who's going to handle the majority of the X's and O's on the offensive side? So far, you and I don't know the answer to that question. But I think a lot of the Magic's problems on offense would be solved by adding 2 or 3 additional shooters who also can defend, who would not be negatives on the defensive side. But it's not that criticism that you mentioned, going from one defensive-oriented head coach to another defensive-oriented head coach, is a fair one.
Josh, coaches are hired at different times of an organization. Jamal Mosley was asked to come here as the team was drafting young players, help them kind of get through it, maybe a number of lawsuits and develop. Sean Sweeney's not coming to a rebuild here. We'll see if there are any major pieces that do get moved. I don't know about that, but what do you believe from a personnel standpoint is the expectation? Is it, hey, now you got to get Paolo to this level, Franz to this level? What do you believe are the priorities for this time for the Magic coach?
Well, you just meant that you phrased the question in a way that perfectly leads into my answer. Part of it has to take Paolo and Franz to the next levels. I think that's part of it here. These are still very young guys, and from the Magic's perspective, hopefully they're not done developing. So that's part of what any head coach's job is, and that's going to be part of what Sweeney is going to be asked to do, and not just them, everybody on the roster, but it's also to advance further in the playoffs. No one can deny that Jamal Mosley had 3 opportunities to help his team move beyond the first round. It didn't happen. Now, one of the reasons why it didn't happen this past time is Franz's injury, but I think the final analysis on this hire will be, well, can he get them further down the road in the postseason, which they need to do. They need to make progress in that way.
Josh, you knew it was going to happen. People try to connect some dots. Obviously, Sean Sweeney, Giannis, he said kind things about Sean Sweeney, the Jeff Weltman connections. And people then say, hey, all of a sudden the Magic become a team to watch in the Giannis sweepstakes. Do you believe that?
The Magic would have, in terms of existing players, the ability to get a Giannis deal done, but I don't anticipate them being in the Giannis sweepstakes. I don't, in part because I believe Giannis has one more full year on his contract plus a player option. You would need, or at least the Magic would need, a commitment from him. Hey, I will re-sign or sign an extension with you if you trade for me. But beyond that, Giannis is 31, and in terms of that, would bringing him aboard would significantly shift the Magic's timeline in a way I'm not sure that the Magic are prepared to shift their timeline. To bring him in, because the Magic don't have tradable first-round picks, they have, I think, 1 first-round pick that they can trade. They would have to include either Paolo or Franz in that deal, and I'm not sure, and I don't think that the Magic are interested in doing that right now and in doing that to their timeline.
So I'll do one follow-up. Did you believe that, names out there that people have reported it spoke to the Magic of Billy Donovan, Jeff Van Gundy, maybe others, that, a veteran coach that might want a little bit more say in personnel maybe was never going to fit what Jeff Weltman wanted, in the sense of, look, he got himself a deal, as you were the first to report, and the team gave him, I'm assuming, the full power to choose his coach. Did you think the other veteran names were legitimate candidates, or maybe it didn't fit the profile for the Magic?
I think to say, oh, you want personnel say, I think that's in part from the old Bill Parcells comment, and I think it was Parcells, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You're expected to create the dish, but you're not allowed to choose, what you have on hand for the recipe, correct?
Yeah, he wanted to be able to buy the groceries, right?
All right, thank you. And it's been a long time since I've covered football. Long time. I think it has less to do with having some say-so on the personnel addition or subtraction milieu, I guess you could say, and more about collaboration, right? These days, across all sports, and it's, I think, pioneered in baseball, but it also now applies to basketball too. The front office, or so many front offices, want at least to have significant input into what rotations and lineups look like, right? You want today's general manager or president of basketball operations, and it's not just Jeff Weltman, wants a collaborator as coach. Like Mark Daigneault, for example, would be, I think, the ideal example of a head coach who is an ideal collaborator with a front office. And if you're talking about a Tom Thibodeau, for example, and I'm just bringing him out of I'm not saying he was connected to the Magic. He's someone who is at least thought from the outside as not a collaborator. It's like, if you're the general manager of that team and say, hey, I think we ought to be playing Mark Daniels 20 minutes instead of not playing him at all. Well, we assume that Tibbs' response would be, hey, okay, I'm the head coach, I'll decide, right? So my guess, an emphasis on the word guess, is that with this Sweeney hire, Sean will be certainly more open to collaborating in a modern way than perhaps some of these established head coaches.
I think you put that
that's
well.
That's my initial conclusion.
No, I think you put it well. Let me pivot, if I can, and get to the NBA Finals. And there are different types of players, but I'm curious your thought. I don't think you're in this group, but the obsession of who's the face of the NBA, and we're quick to get rid of one person to replace with another. But understand the attention to Wemby. Josh, is there any similarity of Shaq's quick rise to fame and that young Magic team that got to the finals so early in his career, year 3, and Victor Wembanyama, year 3, and this young basketball team? Are there similarities? Different players in size, and obviously Wemby is just something we don't typically see, but the quick rush to put a face to the league of these types of players that we've not typically seen. We never saw anything like Shaq with that physical presence and the personality, and now Wemby with his all-around game.
Yes, the answer is yes. There are similarities in that sense, except for the fact that the Magic were only, 4 or 5 years old when they reached the finals.
Right.
Whereas the Spurs are a deeply established team with 5 NBA titles already to their name, and they're assumed largely to be one of the premierly well-run franchises in the league. So in that sense, I would say that's the only sense in which there is not a valuable comparison. But you're right, Spurs are a largely young team with a charismatic big man who does things that before that very few big men had ever done in terms of skills.
Tell me why the Knicks have a chance, if you think they do.
Well, I think they do have a chance, and my prediction would be Spurs in 7. The Knicks have a chance because they are a veteran team with an outstanding point guard, and more importantly, they have depth on the wings. That is two-way depth. Guys like Bridges, Hart, above all else, and Anunoby, who I think is the most underrated player in the NBA. They are threats on both sides of the ball. And I think one of the things that we've seen in the league in recent years is that you can never have enough two-way wings. And the Knicks can match up, just in terms of the wings, with the Spurs very well. It's going to come down to just how dominant Wemby will be, and whether the Knicks have the defensive wherewithal to stop him.
Got two final questions. I know we do this all the time, not you personally, but we crown someone a champion, we make them a dynasty, and then when they don't win the next year, we break them up. Maybe it's a quick reaction to OKC, even though I know that they've got some apron issues. Sam Presti's aware of that. He said, "Hey, stockpile all these draft picks." I mean, Josh, it's possible a team can win a championship, lose in a conference final, get back to a final the following year. Like it almost felt like people are done with OKC. I'm curious if you feel that way.
Well, I feel like that's what the narrative has been over the last 48 hours. There's no question that that's what the feel of the narrative is. Whether it's it's not accurate. It's not accurate because they still have the second best player in the world right now, SGA, and they've got a strong young core, and they weren't fully healthy there in that series. They easily could have won Game 7 if they were fully healthy. And more than any other team, they have this ridiculous arsenal of upcoming picks that they could marshal to get like a Giannis, for example. So they're not done. Having said that, even with this narrative that's going around, perhaps even the narrative undersells just how good Wemby is. I mean, this guy is something else. He's the best defensive player in the league by a wide margin. And offensively, he hasn't even really scratched the surface of a lot of what he can do.
Let me end with this.
The Thunder aren't done, but Wemby's no joke, is what I would say.
You cover the Wizards. They've got the first pick of the draft. I would imagine it's going to be an interesting month. This is an interesting draft. Just your thoughts as we now get into June, and when we get past the NBA Finals, the draft will come up on us. And do you get a sense the Wizards know exactly who they want to draft, or is there still an open mind there?
I would imagine that there's still an open mind. As far as I know, they have not had all of the 4 potential picks, number 1 picks, into Washington for in-depth sit-downs. I think that element of the pre-draft process for the Wizards does carry weight, significant weight. They probably have someone to top their board right now, but that doesn't mean they can't change over the next 23 days.
Josh is on X or Twitter, Joshua B. Robbins. Please follow and support his work and check him out at The Athletic. Good catching up. Hopefully we'll do it again after the finals, maybe before the draft. Thank you. Josh Robbins, and some good stuff on the hiring of the Magic. What John Sweeney is brought in to do. And I think John put it well about a willingness of, and every organization structures things differently. And I just said earlier, and I asked Josh about, if you think about the structure of the Magic, did Jeff Weltman want somebody that was not, I'll share my thoughts a little bit on personnel, but you handle that side. I'm going to coach players versus a veteran coach that might want to have a little bit more say. But again, no one knows if he's going to be a great hire, but let's hope he is. And press conference to come after the NBA Finals. Knicks and Spurs, by the way, open up on Wednesday. First 2 games are in San Antonio. A week from tonight is the first game at Madison Square Garden, game 3 of the NBA Finals. Back and more of the Beat of Sports next.
Want to hear the UCF game? Tell Alexa to play 96.9 The Game.
At Gold Key Roofing, they know you have choices when it comes to hiring a roofer, and they would encourage you to do your due diligence. For 51 years, Gold Key Roofing has called Central Florida home. The Hewitt family proudly still owns Gold Key Roofing today, so a name that you can trust, respected in their industry. Check out the all-improved website at goldkeyroofing.com. Reach out, contact them. They'll get the job done. Big job, small job, brand new roof, simple repair. It's the experts at Gold Key Roofing.
Nice try, Dad.
Ever ask yourself if you still got it? You got it. You just don't always feel it. At Advent Health, we'll help you get it back. Get the same level care the pros do. Next day.
Watch and learn. Still got it.
For next day appointments with the leader in orthopedics, visit nextdayorthoappointments.com. Advent Health, proud partner of the Orlando Magic and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mark Daniels for Scott Simpson and his team at Acrisure Mortgage. Tired of the red tape when trying to refinance? We're talking about refinance options that in many cases require no appraisal, no income verification, and no credit pull. Whether you want to lower your rate or need a home equity line of credit, the Stinson team has the local experience that you need. Reach out to Scott Simpson today, 407-337-0305, or go to WGLoans.com. Tell them you heard about it from Mark Daniels and 96 on the game and get $2,500 off your closing costs when you refinance. That's WGLoans.com. Scott Simpson team at Acrisure Mortgage.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
It's a Yingling thing to have a dog that tears apart every pair of shoes, ruins every carpet, chews through antique furniture, and brand new car seats, terrorizes dog parks, and only knows one trick: how to pull the towel on the fridge door and fetch you an ice cold Yingling. So let's raise a toast to a very good boy. It's a Yingling thing, brewing America's lager for nearly 200 years.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Hi, this is Mark Spain, and we're hiring listing agents. Are you ready for a career move that will be rewarding and earn you the high income you deserve? If you enjoy delivering great customer service and working with people, I want to talk to you. Go to joinmarkspain.com and apply today.
Catch the 96.9 The Game Street Team, powered by Farrah and Farrah, Orlando's personal injury attorneys at events throughout Central Florida, for your chance to win prizes and tickets to upcoming events. For a complete listing of events, go to 969thegame.com/events.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. This is incredible. Get the IDC value price you deserve. Then spread your payments over 5 years. That $6,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $100 a month. That $12,000 engagement ring, just $200 a month. Everything's affordable with this amazing offer. 0 interest all the way to 2031. Who else can do this? There's just one catch. This is a limited time offer just for the month of June. So don't wait. Let IDC help you get the jewelry you've been dreaming of at a price and payment you didn't think was possible anymore. International Diamond Center, Altamont Springs, Waterford Lakes, and Mall at Millennia. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
On Plus Nicotine Pouches present Comfort Chronicles. A 10 o'clock tea time. How comfortable. You show up in stretchy shorts, a breathable tee, and maybe no socks.
Let the dogs breathe.
While others sweat in pleated khakis, you're in your comfort zone bombing drives. And in your pocket, On Plus Nicotine Pouches. The softest pouch on the planet. Buy a can at onnicotine.com. Products for tobacco consumers 21 years of age or older. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And across Florida today, we're going to have some storm chances, as you might expect this afternoon, especially from Orlando points north. But south of Orlando, storm chances will be lower. We're going to top out close to 90 degrees. The chance for rain at 60%. Tomorrow, a slightly higher chance for rain at 70%. But late week, we may dry things out just a little bit with some slightly lower humidity. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm's sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
Being sports on this Monday, Chris is going to be back tomorrow. Ken's been sitting in for him. Did last Thursday and today as well. Cam, do you have a lot of childhood memories?
Yeah, I would say so. I around like 10 and beyond, I start to remember most.
What do you miss?
Oh, I miss, playing, cards with my friends, back when, you would play less electronic stuff, whether it's like playing with toys.
You're a kid. You just did silly things that kids do, right? Yeah.
It was good stuff, man. It was good times.
Now you still are into cards today on a different level, but it probably connects you to your youth, right?
Yes, and that's where I think it's a lot of a big nostalgia bump, brings you back to those good old days before you're worried about bills and all that stuff.
Yeah, I want to share a story that struck me last night that I was thinking about, and on a 6-hour drive back to Orlando from Auburn, Alabama. I was calling the UCF games this weekend and the NCAA baseball regional in Auburn. And last night, UCF starting pitcher is a young man named Roman Kimball. I don't know Roman Kimball other than broadcasting games. He played for UCF this year. He was at Notre Dame. He went to South Carolina, and he transferred to UCF for a final season of baseball. This isn't a UCF story. I think every single person can relate to something that I'm going to share here. And Roman is a guy that loves to play baseball. Teammates like him. He's not 6'5". He doesn't throw 98 miles an hour. He's not going to get drafted. I say that not anticipating that he's going to get drafted. Was a, quote, journeyman. I don't think he'd be offended by that. Started 14 college baseball games in his career. Was a guy that would come out of the bullpen, might go a month without pitching, might be asked to throw 3 innings here, and just kind of a jack of all trades to help your staff. And last night, because of how the season's gone for UCF pitching-wise, with 7 pitchers out for the year with injuries, 7. 3 starting pitchers, 4 key guys in the bullpen, and a team that if they were healthy, I think would have made a super regional this year, but everybody deals with injuries. And the way the injury bug has bit them the last month, he was the only pitcher with starting experience that was available to pitch in a regional game, elimination game, last night at Auburn. And you kind of hoped, hey, let's see what happens, because they literally had nobody else to start because of guys that are injured or guys that had pitched. And it was, okay, Roman Kimball's going to pitch. And he was asked to pitch last night in an incredible baseball environment. I mentioned this earlier. Auburn, props to them, to their to the school for the regional they put on. The facility's fantastic. Their fans were incredible. I mean, we were delayed for 3+ hours. Nobody left that ballpark. And by the time we started playing, from the first pitch and every single pitch, their crowd was jacked up like Yankee Stadium in October. And it was great. And they should scream for the team, and they should ride the visiting team, which was UCF last night, and so forth. It was a great atmosphere. But Roman Kimball went out to pitch in an environment that he never pitched in before. Never. And likely would never pitch again. There's a good chance that when Roman Kimball went to bed Saturday night going into Sunday, and UCF's game on Saturday ended late, and by the time anybody got to bed after eating some food, it's probably like 2 o'clock. Got up, left to go to the stadium before noon, and again, didn't leave that stadium until about 10:30 last night. But Roman Kimball went to bed likely knowing that the next day he was going to pitch what was going to be his final college game and maybe the last baseball game he would ever play. Again, he's not expected to get drafted, and he may never play organized baseball again. And all of us can relate to at some point in our lives. And if you grew up playing sports, I don't forget the craziness of today and the stories that we've done on travel ball and all that stuff. But if you grow up playing sports, like Cam's talking about growing up and he was playing cards with his friends, and I shared stories last week when Bob Horner died, the former Braves player. I was sad. Why? Because when Bob Horner broke into Major League Baseball, I was 11, 12 years old, running around like stupid 11 and 12-year-old kids with a wiffle ball and playing home run derby, and everyone wanted to be Bob Horner, and it was cool. But then when I started playing sports, whatever sport it was, and my dad forced my brother and I, we were not going to play baseball 12 months a year when we moved to Florida. My dad said, you're going to miss it. Go play football. Go play basketball. Go play soccer. Go play everything. And then when it's baseball season, then you play baseball. So I played it all. But I remember everything about the last baseball game that I played. Everything about it. Everything. Including going hitless, which even today, 41 years later, still drives me crazy. Because, and by the time I got to my senior year, I was just playing baseball. And I had a great junior year and had some people recruiting me in a different recruiting world. I mean, back then, I didn't even know that there was so many colleges. I just thought, well, in Florida, there's Florida State. I heard about that school. You see, I didn't know that there were other schools outside the state of Florida that I could have gone to. I didn't have a computer to so anyway. And I hurt my arm early my senior year. Pitching on a cold day in February, arm never was the same, and people recruiting me, and even scouts had dropped off and so on. And I knew that was it. I mean, I could have gone to play really small college or even junior college. The problem was that the junior colleges in Florida were really, really good. But I had a chance to play. But I ended my year thinking this is probably the last time I'll play organized baseball. I graduated high school and I went to college. I started summer semester at the University of Florida. And I think it was 9 days after I graduated high school, I was at Florida as a student. And quickly had to go get a job, and lucky to get a job in radio, KISS 105, and because I had to pay my way through college. But I remember the last night before what I thought, I said, is this going to be the last baseball game? Is this the last time I put a uniform on? And yeah, at 18 years old, when you're still young and stupid, it hit me. Now, I never pitched in a regional like Roman Kimball did last night. And even though if you look at his line, he went 4 1/3. He gave up 3 home runs, and Auburn had 6 home runs in the game last night. But he went 4 1/3, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, walked 3, struck out a career high 7. You'd be like, that kid pitched his heart out last night. That kid went out there knowing there's nobody else. I mean, UCF used a few other arms, but he was the only choice to start. And he stepped out in an environment that he had never pitched in before. On the road, better than 7,000 screaming fans, a lot of them intoxicated because they cut the beer sales price, not cut, like, the $7 beer was $2.50 to keep people there during the delays and everything. And they were on him, and they were screaming. And when he gave up a home run, the dude came back and struck out the next guy. Gave up another home run, came back, ground out. Gave him another home run, came back, got a strikeout. And was emotional as he got strikeout. UCF led 2-0 after 2 innings, and you're like, man, can they get 4 or 5 out of Roman Kimball? And when they pulled him in the 5th inning and he walked towards the dugout, his teammates knew, UCF fans knew, I knew, Stephen Brankham, my broadcast partner, knew. That's probably the last time he's going to put a baseball uniform on. And he knew it. And I don't care what sport you play or played, even as a kid, high school, and let alone that environment, that's going to hit you, man. When you do something for a long period of time and you love it, you have a great passion for it. And even if you're not the most athletic or the best at what you do, but you live for it. And I was one of those kids. I lived to play as much baseball as I played on every summer team. You weren't supposed to. I played on like 3-4 different, like every day. If I could play 8 games a week, I did. And when it ended, that was a pile of bricks that hit you. I mean, yeah, I went to Florida and I started working radio and TV, and I played intramural sport. I played everything in intramural sports. I played like football and softball and basketball and everything, you name it, but it wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same. And I miss those. I mean, I miss those summers of playing baseball. I miss those high school days and never got to put the uniform back on.
And especially when they're like conscious about it, like when you're like, oh, this might be my last. Like, when it's random, quick, sometimes you don't get to soak it in like that.
Or you suffer an injury.
Yeah.
But when and you walk off the final time, that hits you.
You just breathe it in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And as he came off the mound last night, and even some Auburn fans were cheering, I think, I'm not sure they knew that may be the last. I think they knew this probably wasn't one of UCF's ace pitchers. No, because 3 of their starters were out for the year with injuries. They appreciated that. And I can only imagine what went through his mind the night before. And even though UCF didn't win last night, what his thought was. Because if that's it, then you say to yourself, we didn't win, but I left everything. I mean, I battled and I had a blast and it was awesome. And I you could soak up that environment and say, I pitched that environment. We didn't win, but it was awesome. And if that's the way it ends, that's a pretty good deal, man.
I love that.
That's a pretty good deal.
That's a great way to end it off, low key with that.
Yeah. Come back. We'll put a wrap on the Monday show next.
Sports. We live it. We breathe it. We talk it.
Drops, pumps, throws, pass in.
The beat of sports with Mark Daniels continues after this.
Southeast Steel Appliance Warehouse, West of Million Street, downtown Orlando. Okay, that's where you go for all of your appliance needs. Summertime's here. That brand new outdoor kitchen you've been thinking about. Time to upgrade the refrigerator. Maybe thinking about new washer dryer. You'll find the best, most trusted brands, incredible pricing, and check out the all-new Southeast Steel Appliance Warehouse, Scratch and Dent Annex. Shop online at southeaststeel.net. Visit them in downtown Orlando because after 80-plus years at Southeast Steel, you get the best deal.
Traffic's going to be stop and go once you get off the ramp from Florida's Turnpike to I-75 northbound due to an accident. That's off to the shoulder now. There's ongoing construction causing delays southbound on the Turnpike before US 192. Keep an eye out for crews on the roadways there. I-4 is not going to give you too much trouble. Just expect to get caught up in some slowdowns getting through that amusement park area. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's Luxe Boxes. Choose the $5, $7, or $9 box. Now with the shredded beef dipping taco. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Freezes and specialty drinks not included. Tax extra.
Season tickets for the 2026 UCF football season are on sale now. Don't miss any excitement of the upcoming home schedule from the Bounce House. Call 407-823-1000 or log on to UCFKnights.com. It's season 2 for Scott Frost, the Knights in the Big 12 this upcoming year. Don't miss the home schedule at the Bounce House. Season tickets for 2026 available right now. Go online to UCFKnights.com or call the ticket office at 407-823-1000. 2026 UCF football season tickets. More details at UCFKnights.com.
Lights, camera, magic. Mickey and his friends invite you to an unforgettable Disney on Ice gala, where stories like Zootopia 2, Tangled, Monsters, Inc., and more come to life in dazzling Hollywood-style fashion. Disney on Ice presents Spotlight Magic. Visiting soon to Orlando. Coming to Kia Center September 4th through the 6th. Tickets on sale now. For show details, visit DisneyOnIce.com today. Again, get your tickets and check out the show details at DisneyOnIce.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Want to win tickets to see the 2026 FIFA World Cup courtesy of Michelob Ultra in Miami? Just log on to 969thegame.com and search on events to find out how. That's 969thegame.com. Don't miss your chance to be part of the biggest soccer event of the world. Enter today.
This is the Bulldog, Mike Bianchi. You know how coaches always preach preparation? Well, Florida homeowners should take that same approach during storm season, because once a hurricane's in the forecast, it's already too late to upgrade your windows and doors. That's why Renewal by Anderson's Acclaim Impact Windows are such a game changer. They're engineered for Florida homes and built to withstand powerful winds and flying debris. Plus, they are made of exclusive Fibrex material that's twice as strong as vinyl and won't warp or crack in Florida's intense heat and humidity. And these windows help keep your home cooler and quieter all year long. And right now, you can get incredible storm season savings. Buy one window or door, get the next one 40% off, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for an entire year. Protect your home with the pros at Renewal by Anderson. Restrictions apply. So whether you're in Central Florida, the Gulf Coast, or in Jacksonville, visit bestwindowsflorida.com. That's bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License number CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets quality.
Hi, this is Mike Lester with Talon Wealth and the Guarding Your Nest Egg radio show, and I have another investment idea for those seeking great returns with limited risk. Recently, we did a structured note for our clients, paying them 18.75% per year for 4 years, and it was great for clients seeking income or growth and principal protection. The note was based on the S&P, gold, and silver, and our clients won't lose principal as long as none of the ETFs are down more than 40% 4 years from when we placed the trade, and the bank guaranteeing them doesn't default. This isn't an offer because we already traded this note, and structured notes aren't for everyone. But if you would like to know more about how structured notes work and what we currently have available, call us at 916-888-4000, 916-888-4000 if you'd like to learn more.
Advisory services offered through Talent Private Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual.
Looking for a workout that doesn't feel like a workout? At Crush Yard, wellness is all about movement, connection, and fun, no matter your skill level. Whether you've never picked up a paddle or you play every week, pickleball gets your body moving and your stress levels down. Add in great food, refreshing drinks, and a social atmosphere, and it's wellness you actually want to show up for. Learn more at CrushYard.com.
Follow the game on Facebook at 96.9 The Game, sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Countries.
Only one winner.
iHeartRadio and Fox Sports are bringing you every match of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Live. Every unforgettable moment wherever you are. Lock in your preset now on the free iHeartRadio app.
The world will be
Do
listening.
you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Orlando's hometown sports station. This is 96.9 The Game, AM 740, and the free iHeartRadio app.
Cam, I'm not the smartest guy in social media. I'm not active on X because it's not healthy for me. I
Honestly, that's good,
accounts,
to be honest.
But whenever I send out a tweet on my UCF account, and I go too long, and you're going back to go, okay, what do I take out? And then you're spelling stuff wrong, and can you shorten something? I'm the old guy trying to fight my way through it. Does that work? I don't know.
I mean, they make it confusing. They change it Twitter to X, and now they make it as hard as possible. I swear.
But anyway, I'm able to figure it out. You type your thought, you look down, you're like, minus 66. Man, I got a lot of stuff I got to get out of here right now.
And that's the thing too. When you're limited to an amount of letters, it
what
really
am I doing
makes it
here? Take stuff out and everything. But yeah, it's been a long night. Drive back from Auburn to Orlando. Yeah, there's a stretch, by the way. Whew. I don't recommend that trip. I mean, there's a stretch coming out of Auburn when you're going through Alabama to get to Georgia, and that's dark.
Not a lot of lighting.
No. And then like you're driving, you think you're on a little bit of a 2-lane highway, and then there's just red lights, and you're like, there's not a car within like 5 miles here. Why is there a red light? And then you're driving, and just like a person walking, like you're not near anything. How did you get
5
here?
miles in any direction.
Yeah. Anyway. Cam, thanks for coming and producing today. Appreciate it. Always grateful for you jumping in for Chris. All right. Miss any of this program, go get your favorite podcast, Time of the Beat of Sports on demand. Get access to the show, subscribe, download it, listen when it's convenient for you. You can always watch the video stream. Go to our YouTube page, 96 of the Game Orlando. Click on the logo on the live button. You can watch the show back and always access it. Also, the stream on our Twitter, 96.9 a Game On. Chris is back tomorrow again. Thanks for Cam sitting in today. I'm Mark Daniel. See you tomorrow with the Beat of Sports.
WYGM Orlando, WJRR HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.